folks, we're back here for another movie review. Terrell and I, today, we're going to be reviewing the new film, Cliff Beast 6. We're going to be reviewing the new film, Bubble, which is coming to Netflix April 1st. And listen, there's a joke to that, because when this trailer came out, it did lobby the idea to folks that a new film was coming out called Cliff Beast 6. And I remember seeing it, and it's whatever it may be. I mean, Keegan-Michael Key always just catches my eye. Anytime he's in something, I'm just like, okay. And then I'm like, Pedro Pascal's in this too. And then I just started looking at it. I was like, what? I was like, all right, what the hell is this about to be? And then they threw us and basically promoting that it was going to be the film The Bubble. But with that being said, the film The Bubble is about 6 or 7 actors being put into a quarantine bubble. The bubble, everybody knows what bubbles is. Bubble is the safe way of people being able to be productive with some form of work. If everybody's in it is quarantined, if everybody's in it is tested and stays within the bubble, then it's low risk of transmission of COVID. And this is actually taking place during the pandemic, which this was also filmed during the pandemic. So it was literally a mockery of things that were actually probably really still happening. And it is a movie within a movie, because even while we are seeing these characters, actors playing characters and not playing themselves, who are also playing characters in the film, we're also getting footage of the film within this film. So it's a movie in a movie. And it's as crazy to sound, this movie is nothing short of that. It is bizarre. It is star-studded, and I know we can name the cast, but you're not going to be ready for the tons of cameos that are in this, up and down the board. IMDb has a few of them on there, and there's still many more for it. So just in case, so for the last time you can know exactly what this is about. This is taking place in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, and a group of actors travel to a closed set location in England to film the 6th installment of Cliff Beast, a widely successful dinosaur-themed blockbuster franchise. So, Terrell, what's your immediately reaction to the film?
I mean, I laughed the entire time. This entire ridiculous commentary on how entitled actors are, and thinking that they're doing the world a favor by filming these movies because this is the only relief at that time that people had, and nobody wants this. You know what I mean? And they all realize, look, these movies suck. Nobody really needs this. Actors are, they can't take it. But like I said, the movie is hilarious. Slightly a little too long for me, but it was freaking hilarious. I definitely will watch this again.
Yeah, the movie's a little over 2 hours, I believe. I didn't have a problem with it. I don't like movies being that long, but I didn't have a problem with it, because I think that for it being a movie within a movie, to see the footage of what they were filming and how that kind of came to life, and how that played a part into everything that they were doing, getting a glimpse behind the curtains, I appreciated it. It was definitely a mockery of a film. And it's definitely down the lines of Sharknado and Lavalantula, and this new one where I think it's like a vampire shark or spider or whatever it is, that I saw that and I was like, oh, that's terrible. I didn't see it. I saw it pop up and I was like, oh, that's terrible. It's hitting all those type of things. Right. And I think that with just this array of highly charismatic actors, I kind of wanted to see them shine. Thus, the build of the film, you actually did get each and one of these characters all having a moment in this film where you just really saw who they were and how they handled the pandemic, yet the quarantine and the isolation. So even with them having a scare on set and everybody had to quarantine for 14 days, it was kind of funny. And although we're still slightly in the pandemic, it was still kind of funny to kind of go back and think damn, we were acting like that. Or dang, I was bored like that. Or wow, was people really acting like that? All those sorts of different things were running through my mind, which, as much as I was entertained by this film, I was intrigued, because I was just man, we just came from a really dark but silly time. And to your point, because I'm going to steal it, and that's fine, it is sort of a glimpse as to what Hollywood executive and the pressure they were probably putting on cast to keep this going. I mean, the overall theme outside of all of this was like, we got to do this, or the entertainment company is going to shut down. The studio company is going to be done if we don't get this done. Hollywood's already on the decline. We're on the decline. We have to do this. So you're talking about the pressures of getting the film done, and this new climax of a world, and forcing them to do this, or enough pressure to want them to escape and get up out of here. And that's like a crazy thing.
Yeah, these people go nuts. Like, and I feel like this is a big thing. Well, you remember when Tom Cruise had his little zap out moment, like, you know, he was like, "We're doing the world a favor. If you don't want to be here, you can go." It's a big, obviously, commentary on those type of moments in Hollywood, like you said, like, and them feeling like they're the saviors of everybody's daily lives because they need to make these terrible movies. So,
yeah, and like the movie, I mean, I like straight up Lava Lantula and Sharknado, but like it's definitely like one of those VOD Jurassic Parks. Like we've all seen them, where it's like, what would be a good name of it? Like Jurassic Zoo or something like that, or like this dinosaur park. It'll be something like that, and you're like, all right, I know what you're doing here, and that's exactly what Cliff Piece is, and it just keeps getting stranger and stranger. They're definitely building a VOD film, no matter how they want to look at it. It's just a trash
I couldn't see this
movie.
being released in the theaters.
Actually, I could. Thank you for bringing that up. I could, but overall, the film is a mockery and it's a parody, and it's just fun. So many laughable moments up and down the board. I was just consistently entertained. Performances, just moments that I just wasn't expecting, and I also, because I wanted to make sure I took time to give a shout out to a bunch of folks that probably won't get named in this, because with a star-studded cast, there are some folks that actually shine that we may have never seen before. Guz Khan, who plays Howie, he was absolutely great. He shined bright and early in this. Samson Kayo, who plays Bola, dude is hilarious, absolutely hilarious. A scene stealer, I must say. And like with this film being the way how it was done, it was like he had a scene, then he was gone for a while, then he had a scene. I guess they actually had to kind of really shoot this with COVID protocol, so like it wasn't so much total scene sharing, but when he was on scene, he was definitely stealing them. And then I also thought that Karen and Chris, who plays Jocelyn Carroll, Karen Gillan and Chris Witzke, I think that's how you say it, Wisowski, something like that. Their relationship, where Carol was on set for the film, Josh was back home with the kids, with her stepkids, his kids, and just how people were like the dialogue, shall I say, and just almost the assumptions as to like, you left us here, so you left us to die while you go shoot a film because we're at home struggling because of the pandemic, and they're ordering food from Grubhub and all that other stuff, and it's just funny, you know. And then the last person I'll name is Galen Hooper, who plays Carla, who's an emo girl in this. Very, very unique personality to all of the charisma on in this film. Just for the end of the film, for her to have a really good hand-to-hand combat scene.
Ridiculous.
Oh man, so cameos. I'm not going to name them because I'm not going to spoil it. But one's on IMDb, so I will mention it, and that's Benedict Cumberbatch, which comes in a most ridiculous way. Period. It is very, very funny. There is an invisible guy that enters the film, and there's also a guy who has split personalities, who's also highly rumored, potentially rumored. I ain't gonna say highly because there's one person rumored higher than him that also is in this film, who has split personalities and most of the time spends his time riding around in a wheelchair by profession, not by real life. So, you know,
notice this wave of comedy that Pedro has been doing, like these last couple of things. Like, you know, he's in that Nicolas Cage movie coming up. He's been in a lot of comedy roles lately, you know, especially for, you know, if you don't know, he's the Mandalorian because, you know, he takes his mask off every week. But but yeah, man, like I said, it was a great ensemble cast. My man Mulder was in it, you know, doing this thing. You know, he has a really good comedic sense too. You know what I mean? Like since being Agent Mulder and being Mr. Serious every week, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's a lot of the actors on here that they work really good as a cast on here, especially being as ridiculous as they are the entire movie. So I don't know how they did it. It was hilarious.
and at the end of the day, I appreciate this film just for the simple fact that this film was strictly for the purpose of causing a distraction during the hard times. They shot this during the pandemic. They made fun of it in the midst of the pandemic, which is difficult because people were definitely having some challenging times, and they still was able to go out there, risk their lives, because at the beginning of the pandemic, we didn't know the severity of this thing. We didn't know, to what extent can we be in contact with folks, and they actually hit all those different points in this, and was still able to make light of it in a comedic way that's easily digestible. Not to a part where it's like, oh, that's cringe. They shouldn't have said that. They shouldn't have done. I felt like they did I felt that they did the toning very well, so we didn't have to have those conversations. And I will say that something I'm surprised you didn't say, or maybe you did say it because I'm just talking a lot. There was funny moments, a lot of funny moments, and there was definitely parts of this where some of these funny moments was completely exaggerated, like to the utmost extent, where it was just like joke, laugh, and then run that baby out. And I didn't have such a problem with it, especially with somebody like Keegan-Michael Key. I just think that, it works. And when you let these folks who have such vast charisma that it's got to be crazy to write for, you just let them do what they got to do. And also, for anybody who doesn't know, like Pedro comedic side is neck and neck with his serious side.
He has to be the most ridiculous character in the entire movie. Like,
100%. 100%. 100%.
Can we have sex?
No. 100%. Still don't know if I can trust his situation that's going on. That thing seems kind of.
Nah, man.
But yeah, folks, I mean, check this out. It's on Netflix. I think this is going to be one of the most talked about films once it releases. It will trend #1. I have no doubt about it. It's fun. We'll have a good time. There's a lot of notable names up and down the board that people are going to be familiar with. There's tons of cameos to look out for. As I said, Benedict Cumberbatch, an invisible guy and a guy by profession, as a professor, spends most of his time in a wheelchair. Keep saying profession. Professor spends most of his time in a wheelchair, and they have very good moments that I just really enjoyed. So
it really makes me question if Hollywood is actually doing COVID tests. That's what this movie like. Were they just doing it to say they did it, or like, yeah, this really opens your eyes to some stuff behind the scenes.
Yes, there may be an undertone narrative in this, for real, narrative and message. But hey, hopefully things have been better for folks that were risking their lives out on here. Right. But there definitely was some mockery going on in here. And
should we be saying thank you for your service to actors now? Like, does that go be the thank you for you held it down during the pandemic?
Hey man, that might be a slippery slope there. Who knows? But ratings for you real quick.
This movie is freaking hilarious, man. This gets a if it came out of the movies, I would see it. This is a Blu-ray buy for me if I had to buy it, like 4 out of 5.
Yeah. Very much a 4 out of 5 for me as well too. I would have loved to see this in theaters. Popcorn flick, Friday night date film. Just, hey, have you heard about this? Yeah, go check it out. It is also very good streaming. I think this, whatever format you want to watch this film, you're going to enjoy. The stars are doing what they do best. The production, the labs, the message, all of it. It comes together really good. It's 2 hours, or it's around 2 hours, I think, but it's solid, nonstop fun, and you will enjoy. So check out The Bubble, folks, on Netflix. That date again is going to be April 1st. Jump in the comments. Let us know your thoughts. Better yet, we want to know your funniest moment. List some of those cameos in the comments, folks. We want to know the folks that you spotted, because you may overlook them. They're definitely all in there, even with very small roles, some of them with very strange roles, but they're definitely in there. And until then, folks, we'll see you around for another review very soon.
See you.
Big gold bell.